Can you feel the energy? We're sending it out to you guys. Here's the energy that's coming to all of us here. We are celebrating that concept of chanting, that idea of bringing prayer into your body, into your being, and sending it out to the world, and all the different chants from all the different traditions coming together to just really elevate the whole of humanity. That was the reasoning behind our Voices of Faith for Peace event. Because what happened with the Voices of Faith for Peace, it was, we were doing Gathering of Light, we were doing all the chants ourselves, but it was inviting people in who do the chants all the time themselves, and having nobody talk, but everybody participate in those chants. Everybody come together and to be in that vibration and upliftment. It really transcended everybody who has ever attended one of our events. And we actually have a Facebook page where our lovely Melissa has put together videos from different chant groups. So you can go back and look that up in Facebook and check that out. So as I said before, chanting is something that comes from all different traditions. And I really loved it. It's helped me a lot in my own spiritual growth. Because a lot of times you say a prayer, and it's sometimes you hear your own words and you're talking to it, and unless you're not saying a real body prayer, really saying it out, and you're just saying that same route prayer over and over, and you're not really putting your heart and soul in it, the chant kind of moves you into a different place. But one of the interesting things that we work on here at Gathering of Light is not just about tapping into other religions and kind of like saying, okay, what do we learn from this and how can we grow from that? We really want to connect also science and spirituality. We really want to show that this really happens, that something really changes, that it is actual something tangible, and you become completely different. You know, sometimes they would say that in some of the 12-step organizations, you need to change the person who walked into the room, right? You have to become something completely different. And that's what happens when you embark upon a spiritual journey. You need to become something completely different than who you were when you first started on that first step. Except for that essence of truth that you have always been. Because that's usually what happens is everybody starts on that trip, to go on that spiritual journey because they've forgotten all about the essence of that spiritual truth that they were, because otherwise there would be no journey to go to. In fact, many a times we hear it's a journey without distance to a place we never left. That's a quote from A Course in Miracles, right? That idea of because we never left the essence of the divine within us. But sometimes we need places in us. And this is now where the science comes in, where we vibrate, right? We are atoms, we are energy, we are molecules, we vibrate. And there are different levels of frequency and vibration that we can be connected to. And most of us kind of fall into that low frequency, and we get the doldrums of repetitiveness of the day-to-day. We get stuck in the things of our body and our lives, and we need to bring that out and vibrate and help us to vibrate at a different level. One of the ways that we help to vibrate and to help us, because we are the greatest mechanisms in the world. Your body is the greatest mechanism out there. Nobody else can create anything better that can help you to overcome anything as far as being an energy-making machine. Okay? But you got to be connected to it. You got to know about it. We got to connect the heart and the yoga. We got to connect the heart and mind, right? We got to make this connection, have that vibration, to get that field vibrating and to get that essence flowing. And then in there, we can create anything we want to create and have beautiful manifestation. But most of all, we can actually be a mechanism for helping and healing and just being a part of all that wondrousness. And that's what chanting does, because it connects, as our Words of Wisdom said, it connects our heart with our mind. Right? So we're thinking about the chant, but yet our emotions are getting in there, and we're vibrating, we're getting that vibration going. And a lot of the chants, though, throughout time, have had certain purposes. So be careful what you're chanting. Don't just chant anything for any reason. Think about the things that you're chanting. We started out with Jai Jagatamba for Durga and Kali. These are goddesses of extreme power in the Hindu faith, So I wanted to come back to my mother mode. Do not mess with a mother, especially one that was a single mother. She's got a lot going with her kids there and taking care of them. And also Kali. Kali is telling us to go into those dark places and find the gift of the darkness. Because in the darkness there is a womb. That's where the seeds of life are now. All around us, the seeds are in the dark, waiting. And they don't grow unless they're in the dark first. So what is the seed that is in you now? So we wanted to stir some seeds up with the divine blessings of that good, pure Mother Durga, her strength and all her power, and bring that to all of us, to bring that to our service today. And then we said, we recognize that this chanting, we want to do chanting not just for elevate us and make us this energy machine, but we want to connect to the whole universe, and that's why we bring in, by thy grace, by the grace of that energy, by the grace of that universal force that is here for all of us, that is bringing us into all of this place of understanding the truth and that essence of who we are. You see, it's by your surrendering to these holy names. Allah is breath, is life itself, right? So Rama and Jehovah, all of these prayers through these sacred ones, and all of the times and all of the millions of people that sang out those names, and the connection of that vibration we connect to. We are in it, we are being it, and allowing it to move us and to really shake us up and to bring us to an amazing place in our lives. So, like I said, that chanting has been like this really important part of my practice and all my life, and it's been different chants that I've needed at different times in my life that can help me. So that's pay attention to the chants that you're chanting and why you're chanting them. We were chanting the chant for the Lotus Sutra, the Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, with our Buddhist chanting in there. And that's one that's telling us about the mystic law. And the mystic law is about karma, cause and effect. So it's really elevating yourself to be saying, I'm saying yes to mystic law, which means I have to be awakened to or humbled by that concept of cause and effect. And where is the true cause of anything in life? What is that ultimate cause? See, we are not just bashing around in the sea of life. We have a part to play in all this. And recognize the pieces and the parts without blame, without criticism. I am where I am in this moment of my life because of choices I have made up until this moment. And I can be anywhere in the world. But can I be where I am without blame, without criticism, without saying I'm wrong or bad, and know that I have the capacity from here to move on? That means we have to let go of judgment. We have to let go of blame. And we just want to take that rudder and put it into that ocean now. And we do that with the chant. Take the chant and put it into the rudder of the ocean of the universe. And allow it to steer us to another experience of our lives. So this has been kind of some of the things that have connected me. I wanted to ask Rev Gerard to talk about it because he's been helping us. I don't think I could have done Voices of Faith for Peace without you, and he's willing to fill in for any faith group that needed help or the singing and it meant a lot. So I just want to tell us a little bit about your experience with chanting.
So when I was about 11 years old, I couldn't stand going to church every Sunday, and my church started a folk group. And I said, all right, at least I'm going to be able to do something fun when I'm there. So I started playing guitar, and then I started singing. And what I discovered is that through that process, somehow I developed what I call my direct connect to spirit. I didn't really understand it at the time, but I felt it. And it opened me up to my spirituality and to all of the resources that exist there. So chanting is certainly one of these ways where we direct connect to spirit, to each other, to all that is. Now, probably about 20, 25 years ago, I got introduced to Kirtan. Kirtan is the name that's used. It's a Sanskrit name, I believe, in the Hindu faith, where you're chanting the names of God. Now, this was another big stretch for me, because as somebody who grew up, as a Roman Catholic, and you're, not supposed to have any other God but God, here I am thinking about all of these different gods. And I had to do some work around that, realizing that these are just other names of God. And even Hinduism itself, where they have all of these names of God, it's really monotheistic. It's really looked at that all of these different names are really just one God, but in different manifestations. All right, so I was good to proceed. But then I'm chanting, all of these words and phrases that didn't even make any sense to me. And initially, I struggled with that. We're going to be doing one at the prayer of peace. Om Bhuvor Bhurvat Svata Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. That just racked my brain. The intellectual part of me said, I'm never even going to be able to remember those words. But in the process, what I discovered, and what was so helpful, is that I had to release the ego. I had to release control. I had to just surrender to the process and just let it have its way with me. And for me, that was a very good thing. Still is. Just brings me to that oneness. When we're singing those chants, the belief is that, as you said, JoAnn, we're vibrating at all of these different levels, and we're opening up our energy centers. We're just opening, and it's those different sounds, it's the different words, it's the different vibrations that are just opening us up. And for me, it is good, and I love it.
Amen. Definitely. So now you see why we talk about chanting as a spiritual practice, and how any of you can use it in different ways. And we have different ways. We have the different chants that we're using today. You'll find many chants that are out there. And just to uplift yourself and bring your spiritual practice to another level, bringing your whole body and soul into it. So we're hoping that you can do that with yourself and help it. And anytime you need help with any of the chanting, we still do Buddhist chanting. Right now, we're doing Om Mani Padme Hum. And I love the Om Mani Padme Hum because it's a soft chant. It's a beautiful chant that helps you go into that place, and they talk about it, that it's the lotus. It's connecting that lotus with the muck that it grows in. There's no mud, no lotus, right? If you don't have mud, you can't get a lotus flower to grow. So being in that, allowing for the muck, but understanding the lotus is growing, and connect to that lotus, connect to that wisdom, and allow it to unfold in your very beingness of who you are. So join us sometime with the chanting. We like to bring some chanting back into gathering. We used to do that all the time. We'd have a section where not only the songs, we had the chants. We're trying to make things a little more virtual friendly and cutting things down a little bit for you guys out there. But know that we've broken it up throughout the week, and there's plenty of ways. And you can send us some suggestions and things that you'd like to also to do that.